Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon. Welcome back to another interview with Tomahawk. And today we have maybe the biggest interview here in our channel. Today we talk with the man of the moment. His name is Hamza El Baher. He is 23 years old. He is the winner of the King of the Desert 5. He is the winner of Nearly Apartments Cup. He is the winner of the Grand Melee. And with his Canadian team, he is the second place at the Nations Cup. You already know him by his nickname. His name is HERA. HERA, please, would you introduce yourself and tell us about your beginning story with AoE? How I know you grew in a big family with another 3 brothers. So and you played with them. So please tell us your beginning story.
So hello, first of all, it's great to be here. So thank you for having me. I'm actually quite excited to do this interview. Big shout out to those who are watching as well. So yeah, when it comes to AoE and how I, kind of got introduced to the game, it's not natural for like a younger person to get introduced to the game because the people at my age, like in high school, were actually playing different games, like mostly League of Legends, mostly Call of Duty, FIFA, and I did play some of those games too, but AoE 2 started much earlier than that in elementary school because my brothers actually played it. And it's kind of a fun story. We didn't actually own the game. Someone from the local pool we went to borrowed us the game. He gave it to us for a little bit. We ended up loving the game because my brothers were playing a lot. And then we said, we can give it back. We're ready to give it back. Thanks for lending it. And he said, you know what? You can keep it. And he let us keep the game. And yeah, since then we've had it. And yeah, so that's how I played at first. Obviously, my brothers played. I just watched mainly. I played campaigns. I played completely for fun. I was terrible. And then I found the way I got into the online scene was because I found I was playing a campaign, Genghis Khan into China, it's called. No, the Genghis Khan mission is called Into China.
Into China, yes.
Yeah, and I couldn't beat it, so I looked up a guide how to beat it. I found Zero Empire's channel. I finished the campaign, and then I looked at his other videos, which is multiplayer, and I started shortly after in multiplayer as well.
Awesome. It was it looked like my way into AoE. A friend of mine just lent me the game, and he let me keep it. By the way, we have a co-host today. Chico Brioc is here with me. I forgot to introduce him. Chico, would you say hi, please?
Hello, guys. Hello, everyone.
So, what I want to know, and this will come back later, was AoE very popular in Canada? Because here in Brazil, it was huge back in the day, back in the early 2000s. Windows, if you bought them, it would be with AoE pre-installed in it. So it was a very huge game here. I know it's huge in Argentina. I just want to know if there in Canada, was it huge as it was here?
That's actually hard for me to know because I didn't really I didn't really connect with anyone. Like no one IRL that I knew besides the guy who gave us the game played AoE or knew much about the game. Maybe like a couple people, they knew about it, they've heard about it, but no one really actively played or even knew about the competitive scene or online or anything like that. So it's hard for me to judge if there was a big AoE 2 scene. But I do know that my dad, in like 1999, when the game was first released, Age of Kings or something like that, he actually saw someone playing at work. So he, when it first came out, it was around, but I don't know how big it was.
Interesting for you saying that, because I talked with Winchester just a couple of weeks back ago, and he said that his father played it too, and he saw his father playing. So really a family thing here going.
Yeah.
When did you start being good at the game? That's the question, truly. Was it after your meeting with Zero Empires, as you just told? Did you, when did you decide to be an AoE pro player? When did you decide? When did you start to be good at the game, truly?
Yeah. So basically, when I was 13 and I had summer vacation, I got into online, and my first account name was Pro at AoE. So that's I knew from a young age I wanted to do that, but it was I thought I was actually really good because I was playing versus hard AI and I beat him easily, and I thought I was actually insane. So I named myself Pro at AoE. I thought I was coming to online. I will show them all how to play. I was absolutely terrible. I was literally garbage. I lost the first game to a Brazilian, like 1600 Brazilian on Vooply.
What was his name?
I don't remember the name, but I remember he was Brazilian. I remember he scout rushed me. I was doing nothing. I was garbage, and I got completely destroyed. So yeah, that was my first experience with online was that. But after 1 year, I hit 2K on Voobly, and which was like pretty good. And then 1 year after that, I hit 2K4 on Voobly, which at the time was like top 20 or something like that,
Yeah,
I believe.
really good.
So
Really good.
yeah, within 2 years, I was already top of the ladder. But the thing is, it was only on 1v1 Arabia Huns. Like that's all I played. I played some team games for fun, maybe a little, but for the most part, 1v1 Arabia Huns, and I became really good at that. So I never really did well in tournaments besides like the Nations Cup I played, because I was a very much a one-trick player.
But when was the turning point that you? I watched an interview with you and Masmora, and you talked about your family background in engineering. Your father is an engineer, right? And you were in college for you're making math, right? And an engineering school. And how did your family react when at some point you just quit going to college to focus on AOE, right? So how did your family react to that? Because here in Brazil, in my experience, this is a huge thing. I'd say if I'd come to my mom and say that, she would give me a beating. So how was that for you?
Well, so my parents were actually immigrants to Canada. So they immigrated from the Middle East, of course. So whenever it comes to like an immigrant family, they know how much they had to sacrifice to get there. And so they provided a good life for us. So they really wanted to make sure that we work hard and we take advantage of that life that we had that they gave us. And so at first, what they didn't want was for me to play video games all day and do nothing with it. And that's something they absolutely didn't want. And the thing is, that's exactly what I was doing when I was in my teenage years. I started playing video games really early, and I wasn't making money. I wasn't making content. It was nothing substantial behind it. And so from the early times, they were kind of against me spending that much time playing video games. It's okay to play a little, but nothing crazy. Where it really turned was when I showed them that it's really not playing the game. It's really about making videos, streaming, marketing myself in a certain way, teaching the game to others, competing in tournaments. So it's like a competition. It's like a sport. And I showed them that it's a lot more than just me being locked in a basement playing a video game. And that's when they started to, definitely be a bit more supportive. And I think the 2 years around 2019, around that point, they really saw me traveling, saw me at the big stages. They started watching, and they saw that it was a really big thing, and they said, go for it. And they were supportive from that point onwards.
Quick question, by the way. Did you truly stay in a basement? Was it truly a basement?
Yeah, I mean, my room was in a basement for some times, but I make jokes about that. Like I played sports when I was young. I'm pretty active with my family. I used to do all kinds of things. So I make jokes that I stay in my basement all day. It's true to some degree. Like I played a lot of video games, but I'm not like completely antisocial, completely like
I see.
full gamer.
I just wanted to know if it was truly a basement or just like a joke thing.
Yeah, I was in a basement though. I was in a basement.
Chico.
And HERA, I have a question here, and I'm a little bit confused at the timing. But I know that you used to play League of Legends a lot. So which one came first, like Age of Empires or League of Legends or any other game?
That's actually a pretty good question. So basically, AOE came first because I played when I was like 13. But back then, it was very different than what AOE 2 was today. AOE 2 today is very like on Steam. A lot of people play it. It's more mainstream than what it was before. Before it was like third-party program Voobly. Like it's completely under the table.
This time.
Yeah. So it's not something that I can build a social connection with people in my school with. Like everyone's playing something else. I'm playing this, and I talk about them. My friends are pretty cool. Like I tell them about like the things I'm doing, that I'm top of the world, that kind of stuff. And they understand it and they think it's cool, but I never really connected with people. And I started playing League of Legends when I was in 11th grade, so when I was 16. And I started playing with my friends, with my brother. He also played League of Legends at the time as well. And that was, for me, more interesting at that time because I didn't make any money on AoE. I played highest level, which is really stressful, by the way. And
It's
it
a really
was
stressful game, right? Like Age of Empires,
100%.
You are 100 of the time like pressuring yourself.
Yes.
Like in League of Legends, yeah, at some point you die, you have some seconds like to breathe and to think about it. Like Age of Empires, you don't have this. The
Exactly.
seconds of thinking, you know,
There's zero break at top level.
zero break.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's kind of how I felt. Like AV2 pretty stressful. None of my friends play it, so I actually switched to League of Legends. I went to a pretty high level in League. It's nothing I can really brag about, but it's not bad.
Did you reach
So I hit,
diamond or something like it?
I
Right?
hit Masters, so just above
Oh,
Diamond. And I actually my goal was to actually stream League of Legends. Like I want to stream League of Legends. I didn't care to be a pro player in League. I thought that was unreachable. But I thought if I can get the Challenger, which is the highest rank, and stream it, that would be a good way to, earn money and make a career out of it or whatever.
But what did drive you to AoE? Because League of Legends, Counter Strike, Call of Duty, these other games are just so much bigger than AoE. But something really took you away from that, and you came to AoE, and here you are. What drove you from that?
Yeah, so AV2 is actually just a better game. I wish Microsoft could market AV2 as a great game and not as like a nostalgia game, an old game, because AV2 was actually just factually for me better than League of Legends. Like League of Legends, yes, it was fun, but a lot of things in that game just were not as in depth, were not as enticing as AoE2. League felt more like an addiction, whereas AoE2 felt more like a strategic, very interesting game and something that I play for 3-4 hours. I'm not like completely hooked, but I actually really enjoy those 3-4 hours. Like it's stressful, like I said before, but it's a great game, and so that's ultimately what drew me back from League.
And you can also draw some reflections on your gameplay. I think better than League of Legends. When you play a game, you can really think about it. And in League of Legends, it seems to me that is more like a mechanic thing. Am I wrong? I don't actually know because I just played. I played League, but just a few, just a little. So I don't know. Am I right or wrong?
League of Legends does have like some strategy and some thought, but it's harder to reflect on that game because it's 5v5 and the other 4 people, I don't know who they are. They're strangers. So after every game, I can't analyze what went wrong and how to improve. Whereas AoE, it's me. If I mess up, there's no excuses. It's me. I messed up. I didn't like what happened there. Next game, I change it. So it was really easy for me to grow as a player in AoE2 and not easy to grow as a player in League. And so in League, I kind of got stuck. In AoE2, I kept going up.
Yeah, like if you are playing like League of Legends, I used to play Dota a lot. I'm not good at the game, but if we can compare like with Age of Empires, like if you are in a mid position in Dota or League of Legends, you are playing 1v1 against the other player just for a couple of minutes. So you can like judge yourself or try to improve yourself during this couple of minutes. Otherwise, it's just like 5 against 5 players is really hard to analyze what you are doing wrong in an environment of 10 players. It's really
exactly hard. You said it perfectly. Yeah.
And
sorry,
do you have another question?
Just to finish this League of Legends and Age of Empires
Comparison.
team, when you start to stream, if I understood correctly, you started with League of Legends and not with Age of Empires.
No, I never streamed League of Legends. I never got good enough to stream it. My goal was Challenger first, then stream. I never got the Challenger, so I never streamed it. I stayed maximum Master.
And when you started straight with Age of Empires.
Yeah, I started streaming AoE2 actually pretty early, but around I think it's around 2016 or something. I don't remember exactly. But I started streaming just for fun and just to kind of like show the community, as a smaller community on Voobly, how I play. I was a really fast player. I thought people would find that interesting. I don't remember when. I think I started in 2017 actually.
27. Yeah,
Streaming.
I actually I never play at Woobly. I started. I'm a bit. Maybe I'm the older one here. I used to play in the zone. I don't know if you remember the zone, like back in
I
the
don't remember
days.
it, but I know about it.
Like for me, like the heroes of Age of Empires used to be like Viper is now. Viper used to play, but he wasn't like the Viper that he is now. Doubt used to play Arch Coven, a lot of Korean players and Chinese players as well. But this in the zone after like I quit AOE when it started with Woobly. Like his zone was that, and then it started Woobly. I remember that I stopped playing at that moment. But Woobly, what I heard, like it did well. Like a lot of players kept playing. Like you know, you started in Woobly, right?
Yeah, I don't know much about like before Woobly, but from what I can see from Woobly, Woobly had very little resources. Like they had a couple guys there, third-party platform. They are set up to fail, but they had really nice community members and really dedicated community members that continued to work on the game and continued to provide a place for us to play. And they actually did a really, really good job. Like it was very enjoyable. You can talk, you can meet people, talk with community. Playing was pretty easy. There was Woobly did a lot right, and I think Woobly was a big reason for why the game is in the position it is right now.
I agree.
The other reason is actually Forgotten Empires. Those guys are Precision and Forgotten Empires are absolutely key to bring AoE2 out from Woobly and into something bigger. But Woobly was a really big part of keeping it alive at that time.
Yeah, I heard so as well. I talked with Ryut, and they all mentioned that Woobly was something that truly kept the game alive for a couple of years, you know. But moving on, when was the moment that you truly could consider yourself a top 3 player of the world? I know it was you won Hidden Cup 3, and it was such a...
Hidden Cup 4,
sorry.
Yeah.
And you won against Tato, Viper, Leary, and Jordan. Yeah, pretty tough series, I can say. Was that the moment that you could that you were like, all right, I'm on the top 3 right now. I'm the big one, one of the big ones. Was that the moment, or when was exactly the moment that you could say that, all right, I'm huge in this?
I think, well, the top 3 came later. Like even right now, I'm like top 3, but it's kind of close still, right? But I think my first breakthrough was NAC 3, where I got to the finals versus Viper, and I was actually doing pretty well after that as well. So that was like the first position where I thought, okay, I can actually push towards the top. I have a really serious chance every tournament. Before that, I lost first round every tournament pretty much. And the reason I actually jumped from losing first round, losing round of 16, round of 32, to there was when Definitive Edition came out. There was like 2 months before any tournaments happened, before NEC, and I played literally every day 8 hours. I had a job and I had college, but I don't care. I played 8 hours every single day, and that's if you're serious about being a pro, that's what you have to do. Like people think that I just came from like nothing, or I just started at the top, or it was really hard for me. Like I was competing versus Viper, who was full-time. I was competing against Leary, who's really talented. I was competing against Mr. Yo, Doubt. I mean, all the top players that we know today. And I managed to play 8 hours every single day when the E came out, streamed it, and I managed to crack that. And I think that's the point. I wasn't top 3, not really like close to top 3, but I was probably like top 8 consistent, and always shooting for like semifinals at that point.
I see. And now you're in your third big tournament in a row. I mean, as tier, we have the Order of the Sheep, the Grand Melee, the NAC4, and now the King of the Desert. How have you been keeping? How do you feel like keeping this score? Do you pretend? I think that you truly want to keep that going, but how it is the routine for keeping in shape?
Well, the most important thing for me, first of all, I really value consistency. Like if I win a tournament and then next tournament I lose in round of 16, I consider that an absolute failure. Like I do not want that. So for me, it's really important to be consistent. It's not realistic to win every tournament. That's just never going to happen. So I actually don't aim for that. I didn't even realize I was 3 in a row. I'm not 3 in a row. I lost some tournaments in between. I think, yeah, TTL or something.
Yes.
Anyway,
TTL. Yeah, true.
yeah,
That was TTL.
but either way, it's not really realistic to win every tournament. So I don't aim for that. But I aim for like top 4 every tournament as like that's my goal. And the way I do that is I make sure I stream and play competitive ranked ladder pretty much 5 times a week minimum, so almost every day. And then before tournaments, I would train every single day pretty much, always playing, always thinking about it. It's basically a 40 to 50 hour training week before every tournament. And that's the only way I'm able to compete at the top. Like, it really requires a lot of work and a lot of dedication. And it's weird because people see the big prize pools and they think that, oh man, it's really, really nice to be a pro player. But let me tell you, the really big prize pools only come to those who are willing to put a ton of effort, and only the few that get pretty much lucky at the end, because a lot of people deserve those big prize pools at the top 16. A lot of people are very good, very hardworking, but only few get it. And a lot of work goes behind the scenes, but no one sees that. Everyone only sees the 2 hours that you're playing. They see you winning and they see, oh my God, like this is crazy. But for real, it's a really nice position for me to be in, like doing what I love, but it requires a lot of hard work and a lot of time dedicated into it before every tournament.
And I see, I mean, to keep that up, you have to train with your teammates. I know the AM team, you have Nikov, you have Leary, and have Hart. And how it's been, you told us in the end of the NAC that you were looking for sponsors. And how is that quest going? Have you managed to find? And if so, or if not, how much would it cost to maintain a team? What does it require to maintain a team just like AM for you guys training all the time and being full-time players?
Yeah, so first of all, we got one sponsor that actually turned out to be legit. He helped us quite a little bit, set up a show match for us, got us some new equipment, so that was good. Then we found another sponsor that promised us a lot, but ended up being completely fake. Like, he was just lying, I guess, to us, and he turned out to be completely fake. So we spent like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks talking with him. Nothing happened. So it was a lot of time and actually some money lost on that guy. So that was very unfortunate. So quest for sponsors has been up and down for us. Truthfully, I don't think we need that much money to do what we want to do. All we want to do right now is take our amateur team of 5 guys that are very talented and just take it to the next level. Like, give us make a channel on YouTube that is like an AM channel, make a Twitter that's AM, or if we get like a professional team, like if we join like one of the big teams, let's say Team Liquid, then they already have the Twitter, they already have the YouTube. We just make content for them. That's easy for us. But if we get some money, it doesn't have to be that much, like 100,000 a year. That's crazy money. We don't need that. I would say we probably just need like 10,000 a year, and that would cover a lot of what we want to do. However, at the start, the more we get from a sponsor, the more we can do. Like, we can upgrade PCs, we can hire new people, we can invest into IRL cameras to film IRL videos, to grow social media, to open YouTube channels, get editors. All of these things take a lot of money and they take a lot of time. And having an esports team or sponsors lets us do that. They also give us monthly salaries potentially, which I probably don't really need one because I stream, but guys like Leary that don't stream, having monthly salary can get him a lot more motivation to practice and to to play the game on a day-to-day basis. Indeed. Tournaments only come like once every 2 months. So that's the kind of thing we're looking for. That's the kind of things that could take our team to the next level. But right now, without that, I'm still doing all of those things that I'm mentioning, but slowly, because I have my income from stream, income from tournaments, and
income from YouTube.
Yeah, income from YouTube. But I have to pay editors, graphic designers. I have to every time I want to do something, I have to pay like for the work. And it's costly, and I have to pay rent, I have to pay food, living expenses. If I have to upgrade in my setup, I have to pay that. Any equipment I need, I have to pay that. And it's not easy to start a new project when I don't make enough to start the new project. I make enough to keep myself stable and slowly start doing a little bit more. So yeah, that's kind of the situation right now. I think it would be a lot easier if if we had some external help. But I'm very thankful for the community supporting me on stream and stuff like that, allowing me to even do something small, something slow, and yeah, we're building. We'll see where it takes us.
I see. I hope you managed to. I hope you managed to get there. Chico, would you like to make a question?
Yeah, I would like to make a question. Like, it's really nice having you here, Hera, and we have a lot of questions that we have a kind of program, like, because you don't have time for all. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
We don't have like the time for all of it, but I have a special question. Talking about your teammates, Leary. Like, this guy, does he has like a special and natural talent? Because I don't see him playing a lot. Like, I know that he doesn't stream a lot, but actually I don't see him playing a lot as well. When I go to AOE.com, I don't see him playing. Does he smurf a lot, or he actually doesn't play a lot and he can keep like a really high level playing? I just see him playing in a really big tournaments. Am I right or am I wrong? Like, it is the vision that you have.
Yeah. So basically,
He's so good, man. He
Yeah.
like, his macro is amazing.
Yeah, Leary. Okay, here's my take on Leary. I think Leary is a very smart guy when it comes to video games. Like, he's actually really smart with it. He can learn new games very easily. I'm sure, like, any game he takes, he will be naturally like much better than the average. So if you call that talent, call that intelligence, whatever. But naturally, he's coming at a high level, or at least he climbs to high level pretty fast. But the thing is, what people don't see, he doesn't play ranked ladder often. He plays very little ranked ladder. But before every tournament, he actually comes back into shape. 1 week, he's rusty. Then he's slowly getting back to shape. And right before the tournament, he'll be in shape and well practiced. So what he does is that he doesn't play regularly, but before every tournament, he puts in a lot of effort, puts in a lot of work, and gets back into top shape. And that's what you see in the tournaments. You see Leary, who's in shape, practice for like 2 weeks to 3 weeks, but really good practice. He's playing his me, he's playing his heart. We're talking about the games, we're thinking about strategy. It's 2 weeks of good practice. Ranked ladder is good to keep in shape, but it's not actually good practice for tournaments. It's not bad, but it's not actually that good. So he only does good practice, so that saves him time. It saves him, he's able to do other things like, going out, do sports, school, work, military, whatever he was doing. But yeah, that's kind of how his approach to the game is. And actually, if the AOE2 was like an actual professional esports, players would not have to stream. They earn enough from the tournaments so they can sustain that. Right now, only a couple people earn a lot from tournaments, or earn enough for a living from tournaments. Leary is kind of like, if he wins a couple tournaments or gets like top 4, he'll be like doing well. But he has an IRL job right now, so he has a job in real life that he does instead of streaming, pretty much. So he's in a very similar situation as, for example, me, except in his day-to-day, I'm streaming, I'm playing. He's working, and he's working. He has a job.
Focusing on AOE. And about streaming and moving on, actually, you talked about in another video, recent video that just came out, talking about some problems with AOE and some good points as well. Well, one of you that you mentioned is that the player base is kind of older, so it doesn't have a toxic environment, but one thing that I thought is like the player base is getting older. That's a fact. I have 15,000 followers on YouTube, but 80% of them are above 25 years old, and only 0.1% have 18 years or less. Why does AOE, does not attract the youth? It seems like it doesn't attract the younger folks. Do you see that like AOE, it's a game that would eventually, I don't know, fade away with its players? We're getting old, man. How to attract the youth?
That's something that if you say it out loud, a lot of people would not like to hear it, because we would like for this game to last forever. But the reality of it is, if you don't talk about a problem, it doesn't mean the problem isn't there, right? So I like that you mentioned it. The problem is there. We have an older player base, which is good and bad, as I mentioned in that video. But imagine if in 10 years we get no new players. In 10 years, who is playing? Who's streaming? No one in their, consistently playing in their 50s at the top level or consistently making content in their 50s. Maybe Mem soon, but he's 75, so he's got time. But yeah, like as we get older, we need to replace it, and it needs to be a good amount of people replacing it. That's how the game can grow long term and survive. There's a few challenges for AoE2. So right now, new generation especially, they have attention span of a literal rodent, like of a mouse. So something that doesn't reward you instantly, it doesn't give you instant gratification, they will move on. They scroll TikTok, they scroll YouTube Shorts. 1 minute, that's all they can focus. If it's not interesting, they go to the next. And AoE2 is not something that captures you in 1 minute. It captures you over time. If you dedicate some time to it, you'll see how good the game is. You'll eventually get sucked in. But you're not going to play 1 minute and be like, oh, this is so much fun. Like, I'm going to tell my friends about it. It's not that kind of game. And that's, I think, a challenge for a lot of the new generation. Now, not all the new generation are like iPad kids and like, low attention span, Andes, but a lot of them are. So AoE2 will never, unfortunately, attract the masses. It's never going to be like mainstream. But I think we could do a better job of advertising it, marketing it towards that younger generation by showing that it's very active. A lot of players play it because that's something younger generation wants to be involved in, something that is big. So show the LAN tournaments, the Red Bull castles, show how active the top player scene. You can show that how good the game is, like 43 civs, like history, that kind of stuff, medieval times. Show more of that, and less like, oh, it's a 25-year-old game, we're still going. No 13-year-old is gonna see 25-year-old game. Wow, it's back. I'm gonna play that. No, if I'm watching a trailer and I hear 25-year game, I'm just gonna go play Fortnite. That just came out. You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, that's a big problem for attracting a new generation.
And about, you just talked about TikTok. Have you seen like maybe the places to advertise the game would be, we should move and try to. Have you seen AoE in TikTok? I've seen in Spanish. I see a lot of AoE on TikTok, and has huge like counts. My TikTok, I just started like a couple months ago, and I have a very young, maybe it's between 18 and 25 years old. It's 35% of my viewers on TikTok, but they are there. So we might just try and advertise to them. But I agree with you totally that we should try and focus to advertise the game as a great game and not as a appeal to nostalgia. I don't think that's a good thing at all. But yeah, definitely. It's. I think you're totally right on that, and I agree totally with you what you said on that video. But moving on here, your family had to deal with very, let's say, questionable decisions from you. Like you coming one day maybe and say, "All right, mom, I just quit my job. I want to play AoE." Okay, mom. Okay, dad, I just quit college. I want to play AoE, but recently you just moved to another country. How was the reception? You just moved to Argentina. You actually are neighbors. You're a neighbor now, but how was the reaction of moving to another country? And I know that you started with Roxy, right? So I think it was one of the main reasons for your departure from Canada. But how did your family react to that, and how did that affect your AoE career?
Well, I mean, my family started treating me like an adult because here's the thing, like as I did more and more time with AoE2, I was traveling by myself for tournaments. I was running basically my own business. I was trying to learn these more like real world things. And so I basically was a grown man at this point. Like I usually, if you're still in university, I'm still studying. I don't have time to learn some of these skills, so I might still not know how to like travel or anything like that or whatnot. But I was basically living my adult life, and so at that point, my decisions. I have very strong family importance, so I always tell my decisions to my family, and if they don't approve, then I talk through with them. Maybe I change my mind or something like that. But getting married, that's something that they wanted for me, so they were very supportive of that. Me going away from them is hard for them because they miss me and all that, and I miss them as well, and it's difficult. But we can talk online these days, and we can still keep that good connection. And it's the kind of thing where I'm just living my life at this point, and I still keep really good relations, of course, with my family. But they're pretty supportive. They definitely treat me like an adult, and I
Great. Awesome.
I can
Good to hear that
definitely
you have the support.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot better. Like the whole they're worried about me and stuff. That was really just before, when I was kind of still more or less a kid or young adult. That's when they kind of questioned my judgment a lot more. Nowadays, it's not like I know everything, but they give me a little bit more
Support.
leeway and support, and they trust my decision making a little bit more.
Good. Chico, do you have a question?
Yeah, like with this question, like Hera, moving from Canada to Argentina, how like you deal like moving to another country, like different culture? Was it natural for you, or do you have like facing like
Difficulties?
different, like missing something in Canada, or for you just normal and you are loving it?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I miss about Canada, to be honest, is my family. I don't really miss anything else. I like my neighborhood and I like my family. I had a couple friends there as well, like 2, 3. So I miss that, but I don't miss anything else. Like for me, Canada isn't even really my home country. Like my home, I was born there, but my parents come from Palestine. Like I'm a Muslim. Like for me, the Middle East has more like my heart than Canada. For me, Canada is just a place I grew up in, a place I live, and I liked it. It's not bad. Like I actually enjoyed living in Canada, but for me to change was not a huge loss. Like it's not like I am attached to Canada. Besides, like I said, my family and the neighborhood. But going to Argentina, I actually did not expect to like it as much as I did. It is absolutely amazing here. The food is great. The people are very warm, very, very friendly. The weather is like perfect all year round. Like right now we have a little bit of cold, like it's winter, so it's a little bit cloudy, a little bit cold. But like winter in Canada is -30. Like that's terrible. Here, this is nothing.
I can imagine, man. I hate cold.
That's what I'm saying. I also don't like the cold, so I go for a walk now in winter. It's a little cold, but it's fine. I'm still chilling. It's cool. The summer here is nice. A little too hot, but I like the heat, so it's good. The spring, the fall is all amazing. Like perfect weather, always sunny. There's honestly very little things I dislike about Argentina. In general, South America as well. As I moved down to Argentina, I learned more about South America. I started talking to Brazilians. I started talking to Chileans, Uruguayans, and they're all so passionate about their country,
Everything.
their continent, and they're passionate about everything. Like AV2, the fans that I met in Argentina, they're super passionate about AV2. They're super friendly, and often they give me gifts. And if you consider like the economy situation, it's not a secret in Argentina. It's not very good at the moment, right? I'm not an expert on it, but it's not very good. And yet they still find whatever they have to give me a gift, and that is the best. Like that is the most welcoming thing that they can ever do. Like that's so amazing from them, and that's something that's immediately I absolutely loved. And I actually wasn't planning to stay as long as I did in Argentina, but because I liked it so much, I wanted to stay longer, and I'll probably stay.
We hope you stay.
Well.
We hope you stay there. And as I told you before, we are actually pretty close. So the weather is kind of the same. It's kind of there's a little cold, but it's sunny as well. It's very close indeed. And you talked about the gifts and the public in Latin America. I follow your wife now in. On Twitter, and she always talks about wanting to host a tournament, a LAN tournament in Argentina or anything, in South America. And how was the experience for you at that watch party at the ending of the King of the Desert? Because let me just open a point here. We are truly very passionate about everything, and when at the Nations Cup, Brazil went against Argentina, it was a huge moment. I just want to say it was bigger than the final here. I have an average of 200 viewers per stream, but on that day it got to 850.
Wow.
It was so huge. I know that Nacho as well. I always talk to him. He had a huge crowd watching him as well. And how do you feel that? Seeing that, you truly can see that you can make an event here. But how do you think that? How are talks? Are you talking with Microsoft about making something here? Because you have my total support on that, and I truly will cover that. But how are talks about that? Do you wish? Are you working on making some sort of event here?
So here's the thing. It's actually mostly Roxy who's trying to contact people, trying to make things happen. I also got involved with her and with Microsoft to try to talk and organize something. But it's really complicated because it's I'm not a tournament hosting channel, and to host a LAN is a really big deal. So we need someone to just believe in us, like just let us have a chance. I'm actually sure that Roxy can do a great job with the organization. The Argentine community will all come together, hopefully, and just join us. Everyone can help with whatever they can do. Roxy and a friend of hers that works around esports in Argentina, they organized a watch party in like 2 days, and it had 500 people, and they had like 1,000 more people, or maybe even 2,000 people more that wanted to come and they couldn't. That's a watch party. It's nothing compared to a tournament. So the potential is clearly there. There are also other smaller teams that do stuff in Argentina, and they get people together. They host some little small events, and so I'm sure if we get everyone together, everyone working for the same cause, we can make something really big in Argentina. But it's not something I can say is happening. We don't really have any support from Microsoft right now that I can say it's looking good. And nothing's really happening. We're just talking, we're showing the potential. That's step number one. But at some point, we're going to need someone to just believe in it and to help us make it happen. We're willing to do like the organization, the advertisements. I'm willing to use my social medias, my YouTube, my Twitter, my Twitch to advertise it, to bring people to watch it. But it's not really something I can say for sure will happen for now. But I do hope it does happen eventually.
Me too. Like sorry,
please.
Thomas. Like I just like to finish this point. I think like Microsoft doesn't look at South America as it should. Like we have a lot of players like here in Brazil, as you said, like Chile, Argentina, Colombia. We have Ozone. So we have Ozone. You have a lot of South American players. But I don't know why they. But I think they would. Like make a good choice if they like invest here with some AoE players, like back as we were talking, like where we could Microsoft invest, like to keep like the AoE players growing. I think South America maybe it's a first step here, like maybe South American players we play a lot. Like now we are you are playing in Argentina, and you can see like how many players are playing here, like in our how can I say in English? Como fala em
continents or?
Pergunta para mim. You can ask me.
But even in Portuguese, I forgot the word.
Well, that I can't help you, my friend. Oh, the time zone. Like
we now you are playing in our time zone, and you can see like a lot of players are playing in this time zone. So we are huge, man. Like I think Microsoft could make a choice in here in us.
Yeah, I think the interesting thing about South America, right, is that it's kind of like Europe. If you host in Europe, in Germany, everyone from around Europe will come. In South America, same thing. If you host in Argentina, Argentina is one country. If you go, you can host in Brazil if you want as well. Like anywhere you host in South America, everyone from all the different countries will come. It's people are gonna make the trip. If you just announce it ahead of time, 100% we will have a good
Yes.
mix of all the different countries. Like it's a guarantee. It's actually not even a risk. Like it's a guarantee. You will have thousands of people there, like 100%. So let's speak like clearly. Is Microsoft not wanting to do this because there's not enough to profit? I disagree with that. I think they can easily profit from having a few thousand people in the same area. I don't know why they're not giving South America its attention. I think it's actually a mistake that they're not, because all the other esports have tournaments in Brazil, in Peru, in all these countries in South America, and they're so successful. I don't know why we can't do it here. There's no explanation.
Yeah, just to add to your point.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to add to your point, here, football is pretty huge in here, and whenever we have tournaments among the South American countries, just like the crowds, when a team from here from Brazil will play in Argentina, will play in Colombia, will play on whatever, they will go and they will have a huge crowd here of Brazilians. There are Brazilians, Argentinians. They will go. So it's certain. If it's ahead of time, we will go there. I will go there. I will be there.
It's funny because we actually wanted to organize an Argentinian LAN event before NAC 3 or before NAC 4, so very recent. Miguel and Dogao, two top players, they wanted to come just to chill, just to hang out. And then we told them, we're like, if we make it happen, you can play in the tournaments. We can put some prize pool. They said, oh, that's great. But they were going to come just to chill. We were talking with them. And unfortunately, nothing happened in the end, sadly. We couldn't get things together. But it's people will come, top players, a lot of the fans, everyone you really need. And you know what? I'm actually 100% sure as well. There's a bunch of different people in Argentina that have different specialties. Some people can have connections to rent us a place. Other people can know someone who does that does the production. You can get these things done for much cheaper than in Europe. Like it's simple as that. Like the production costs for running a tournament in Argentina will be cheaper than doing it in Europe. It's just how it is. And if you combine that with all the contacts that the fans will have, you can easily run something here and make it much bigger than what we can do in Europe.
Yeah,
and I think the European tournaments, like the ones in Germany, it's fine. Like those are good too. Do something in Germany, do something in different countries in Europe. That's
we don't have castles here, right?
I've seen a couple castles around here, around Argentina. Some palaces. I don't know if it's called a castle, but yeah. It's like let's keep doing something in Germany. Let's do something in other countries in Europe, maybe even in America. It's cool, but also do something in South America. Like get a little bit everywhere so that all the fans can feel part of it. And you know what?
Totally agree.
The last thing I'll say about this, because I don't want to take too much time. I am pretty passionate about it though. The last thing I'll say about it as well is that if you spread out where the LAN event happens, you will target more consumers. So even from the position of Microsoft, they will benefit more. They will literally profit more if they spread out where they do the events. If you do one in Germany, people will buy the ticket. If you do another one in Germany, the people there might say, "Oh, I already went to one. I'm going to skip out on this one." But if you go somewhere else, no one will miss out on it. It's the first time. It's the first one. Everyone will want to be part of that. Yeah. And so,
indeed,
it's literally a win in every position. I don't know why it's not happening.
And they already had like the proof. Like when you won the King of the Desert 5, like you saw, and Microsoft saw how many people went like to after party just to saw you. Imagine if you were Viper, Doubt, Leary, and everyone.
A tournament there,
thousands
exactly.
Of people, thousands of people, and I'm not even kidding here. Like, it would be amazing and great.
I think up to 10K is very doable. I wouldn't be surprised with 10K, honestly.
Indeed.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yep. Just moving on in our interview. Talking about King of the Desert, we just talked about it. Well, I have two questions about it. I just prepared them here. But, First of all, congratulations, of course. But you won 4-2 against Winchester, right? So, and I talked to him about it. He was actually the one who got the most wins against you. It was 4-2. The others was like 4-1 and 5-0. But Winchester got the most wins against you. It was 2. And I talked to him, and he was like, well, on the second game, it was Celts against Chinese. The game went a little bit to the late game, but you actually won that. And he said he got a few mistakes there, but he said that it could be totally different if he had won that game. My question is, if he had won that game and it was 2-0, I would like to ask that, does one game change a whole series? Like if you lose one game, you're losing 1-0, then you're losing 2-0. Does that too, the second game, change the whole series? Or would you consider that, no, you could turn around even if it was 2-0?
I mean, here's the thing, like this whole like if I did that, it's kind of like it's in my opinion completely nonsense, because if he does that, maybe I do something else, and then it's a whole different tournament. That's a completely different timeline. So honestly, I personally wouldn't bother even thinking about that, and for that reason, I'm not really gonna even mention what would happen. Like I don't remember. Who knows what would happen if you won that game? But can one game change the outcome of an event? Sure. Like if you win, sometimes if you have 2-0 lead, you have more momentum. The opponent is maybe more nervous, that kind of stuff. But me personally, I have a really good mentality these days. I take it one step at a time. I could be 4-0 down. If it's best of 9, I still try for the win.
Yeah.
I take it one step at a time. No problem for me. But yeah, I don't really talk about if I did that. Yeah, it didn't happen
Makes
this time.
sense.
Let's see what happens next tournament. Like
Yeah,
I'm not gonna bother thinking about that.
Yeah, I understand you. And about the finals, of course, I had to ask you, 5-0 against the Viper, huge win, but it is unusual. I could say 5-0 in a final. I don't know if you agree with that. How do you think that you pulled that off? Because you think that you were in such a good mentality, in such a good shape that you could outsmart Viper in all games, or I don't know, was he in a bad day? I don't know. How do you think you pulled that out? Because I'm sure you could win, but the unusual for me is the 5-0. I think you get it, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, to be honest, I really think we were the best 2 players of the tournament. I think the other guy that was probably like pretty solid with his understanding of the meta was actually my other 2 teammates, Leary and Hart. I think that us 4 probably played the best style. Obviously, things went wrong for Leary, things went wrong for Hart, and maybe like their level for that tournament in particular wasn't like as it should have been, wasn't 100% sharp. They made some mistakes, whatever. But me and Viper were both playing, in my opinion, like the right style. However, I feel like I had better Civ picks than him. Like my draft was, in my opinion, a little bit better. And I just felt like I was a little bit more sure of my game plan. He was kind of going into it, from what I see, like he had a little plan, but wanted to just adapt. Whereas I kind of was like really sure, because of how much I practice, really sure, no matter what happens in the game, I had a strategy or a plan in mind. So if I start winning the early game, I know what I want to do. If I start losing the early game, I know what I want to do. If I see certain response from him, I know what I want to do. So I was kind of just like one step ahead, really, really confident in what I wanted to do. And that helped me play with basically, I didn't hold anything back. I was not second guessing myself. I played with 100%, just confidence and sureness in my gameplay.
Like in this strategy, like HERA, when you knew what you had to do, you just like study by yourself or analyze by yourself, or do you have any like friend or teammates like thinking with you at the finals? Maybe of course after they get after they left of the tournament, like MBL and Leary.
Yeah.
Do you like keep in chat with them, like
Oh,
to
for
see
sure, yeah.
if you think is right or wrong, or just you?
No, 100%. No. First of all, big shout out to my teammates, and more specifically, Hart and Leary. Obviously, my teammates also Nikov and BL. We talk and we practice together as well. Like, so big shout out to everyone, but especially Hart and Leary, because we're on voice chat every night, practicing. Even when they lose, the next day they're still back with me. They're still helping me. So, and I can't win the same way without them. It's not possible. I really need someone to talk with me about the strategy, to try stuff out. I actually made, after every round, after like after every round in the round of 16, I made a separate tier list of the civs I wanted up against the player. So against Barrows, I made a tier list. Next round versus Winchester, I made a new tier list. What I want, what he wants, my bands, etc. Against Mr. Joe, a tier list. To the point where I knew exactly what civs he wants, exactly what civs I want, and in the right order. And we were able to predict Yo's draft. We only got wrong like 2 civs out of 9 or out of 10. So
impressive.
That's really nice. That's
we
really
had
impressive.
Like, insane
the theory
preparation.
coming to the practice, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like, imagine that. Like, imagine I'm going against semifinals with Mr. Yo. In game, anything can happen. But before the game, in the draft, exactly what I thought was gonna happen happened, and that's such a big confidence boost. We haven't even started playing, and I feel like I'm winning already. I feel like I know exactly what he wants to do. It's looking good. And I did the same thing with Viper, and I was doing the tier list with Hart, with Leary. Even sometimes I talk just with Roxy here and there as well. She's pretty solid at the game as well. She's like 1800, so she understands some certain things. And I bounce ideas. What if that? And she says, oh well, Mr. Yo likes to play this. Viper likes to play this in the draft. You know, he always talks about it. So even she gives some ideas. She gives some help. She, lets me know of certain patterns that the opponent is thinking about and doing, and that for me is really crucial. So when it comes to tournaments, it's not a one-man job. I have a lot of help. I help them, they help me, I wouldn't be able to do it by myself. No way.
Awesome, thank you, HERA. So moving on with your interview, one question that I wanted to know, and it hits the King of the Desert 5, but it happened before. And now we're moved to the part where I call here Microsoft in general. But how do you think that are connected the dev team to the tournament organizers? I mean that, whenever big tournaments are happening, it's common, actually, to have updates in the game. And that's bad, because it makes you have to make beta versions of the game. You have to, set your game back a few versions. At the Nations Cup, it was like 2 or 3 versions back. So do you think there's no communication at all between the dev team and the tournament organizations, or the dev team just doesn't care that big tournaments are going on?
Well, there is communication, but because of how packed the tournament calendar is, like there's so many tournaments, one after the other, there's actually no time where you can release a patch and it's not going to conflict with something. So I don't blame them for it conflicting. What I do think is a big issue is that there is literally glitches and pathing problems in the patch we're playing in tournaments. That is unacceptable. Like, there is no excuse for that. If you are playing a tournament, if you're sponsoring a tournament, $100,000, $80,000, you have to make sure they're playing on a patch. There's no glitches. There's no bad pathing. It's a good patch for the tournament. I don't mind if it's a tournament patch, something like that. It's fine. Let us play on our own patch. Everything works. It's cool. Release a new patch. There's going to be bugs. Fix that whenever. Obviously, that's a separate problem. It shouldn't be like that, but whatever. That's fine. But it's absolutely unacceptable that you're playing a tournament with bad pathing. We saw bad pathing in my set versus Yo. MBL versus Viper, the monks started freezing.
Yes.
I remember that game.
Yeah, and we're talking like the life of the players. Like, it's thousands of dollars. It's a lot of exposure on the stream. It's tens of hours, dozens of hours that they spend. Imagine if you lose because of a bug or because of bad pathing. You're literally losing parts of your life, like your
Yes.
money, time. It's discouraging everything. It's absolutely unacceptable. I do a line of work, like the pro play, that if I make a small mistake, I could lose thousands of dollars. How
Indeed.
come? How come that the people who run the game are allowed to make these small mistakes and it's not spoken about? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
they should be held to the same standard when it comes to tournament as the players. Players that make some small mistakes, they will lose to other people. Dev team, if they make small mistakes like that, we should let them know we're not going to play on this patch. It has to be perfect. Like the player has to play almost perfectly or as good as he can. It sounds harsh, and we love the dev team. Like, I personally love the dev team. They do a lot for the game. I don't want to be too harsh, but when it comes to tournaments, you expect the best in the players. You have to expect the best for the patch, for the stability of the game. That's a must. So in my opinion, I was extremely disappointed with what happened. I won the tournament, yes, but it doesn't matter about what happened with the results or anything like that. There was bugs and bad pathing in the tournament for other people, and that was not okay for me. I was extremely disappointed, and I'm just glad that no one lost a big round because of it.
I see. And about that still, talking about tournament organizers, so far, a couple of tournament organizers actually went off because lack of support from Microsoft. I can mention here Nerfox from AoE 4 and Adico too. Sebastian Adico worked with AoE 2 and AoE 4 mostly. They went off, so we got less qualified people here working on tournaments. And to quote here Sebastian, he says, virtually every game with an organized competitive scene, yes, even niche games like Tetris and most fighting games have something called tournament license, which is not a way for the developer publisher to have control over the scene. They have that naturally due to copyrights, but most importantly, it helps the tournament organizers know who to contact for inquiries about the competitive scene. It's a way for people who might not know the ins and outs of the scene already to get a foot in the floor. And he says, end quote, Age of Empires does not have that. Do you agree with him on how tournaments are managed here? It's like always losing with very, very lack of control from Microsoft. What do you think about it?
Well, I don't know about that specific case, but first of all, it's pretty sad to lose dedicated members like that because they don't like what they're dealing with. Because again, those guys don't get paid, they don't get recognition. They do it because they're passionate and they have time. But yeah, so it sucks that we're losing people like that. But yeah, so I mean, as far as tournaments and Microsoft, I feel like Microsoft, they give the money or they let people sponsor, like they put the money for the sponsorship for the streamers. And I don't think they do much else. You know what I mean? They're not as involved. They're not running a league. They're not really involved. So they let the tournament hosts run everything. I think that's a very not professional way to do things. And I think that that's probably not a good thing long term. I'm not sure what he was talking about with the tournament license or whatnot. I don't really understand too much about that. But more professionalism around tournaments is very much needed. And it's the kind of thing where the more Microsoft puts time and effort and it hires the right people to take care of these jobs, tournament coordinator, etc. You have to get the right people in there. Then things will start to get better. But as it is now, we just unfortunately don't have the right people in the right places and don't have enough investment of time from Microsoft.
And we're kind of
that's the way I see it now. But I'm not an expert on this, so I could be wrong. I'm just saying from what I see.
Yeah, and about improving AoE. You talked about in your video that I mentioned before. You talked about having different tournament hosts and it being confusing for players to keep up. And but what do you think about different game modes in tournaments? What I mean is, do you think that it's good or bad for the average player like me and Chico, who is I'm 130 in the game, and Chico is 160. What do you think for us, the average players, for big tournaments to be held in game modes like Empire Wars or the game mode on that NAC was on with 9 villagers start, which are not on the, it's not even in the ranked ladder or the Empire Wars ladder, which is, has very little players. If we want to train to play AoE on the highest level, and we have to see tournaments being held in that game mode with 9 players or on Empire Wars, do you think it's good for the competitive scene to have these game modes? Or do you think that we should, focus on a more pattern gameplay? I don't know, maybe the 9 villager start should be implemented instead, and go instead of the 3 villager start. What do you think about it?
Yeah, so I think ideally the casual players, or even like the beginner players, intermediate players, everyone should be allowed or able to play the same thing that the pros are playing, because this is natural. Like, you see someone playing a game at the pro level and you're like, oh my god, I'm excited, I'm going to jump in. But when you jump in, you can't play the same game mode. It feels really weird. So I think that Empire War, 9 start, random map. Pick 2, kill 1, and stick with 2. Both are playable on ranked. Both
Forever.
are playable for everyone. And you can switch depending on the tournament. That's fine. But having 3, 1 not available to the public, 1 is very dead on the ranked, like no one really plays Empire War. It doesn't really make sense. And that's same goes for everything. Like, tournament maps, make them playable for the public. Like, let tournaments not be this unreachable thing. Like, oh my god, they're playing tournaments, I can't play that map, I can't play that game mode. They're doing something, I'm doing something else. It's not connected. That makes no sense. It should be like, tournaments, those are the best at those settings. You can play those settings too. You're not as good as them, but you could be if you continue playing and you continue practicing. Or you can just play to see how it feels to play on those settings, and that's just more natural. It's more fun for everyone.
Would you kill the 3 villager starts?
No. I think Empire Wars goes for sure. If you ask me, 9 start is great. I think that's the future for competitive AoE. But I think 3 start is classic. That should stay somewhere forever. Yeah.
So Empire Wars, in your opinion, must go.
Yeah, I think that's not a very good game mode.
I see.
Has a lot of problems.
You want to talk about them?
It's not that interesting for me because I already mentioned them here and there. But real quick, you can't scout your opponent before you make a decision. So we start the game. We have full economy, so I have to make a building. I make stable. My opponent makes range. He has a good map. I didn't know that. I couldn't scout. I had to make a building before scouting, and I can lose. And that's just not AoE. That's not strategy. That's not anything. I don't like that one.
It's just guess. You have to guess.
Exactly. And that for me is that reason alone is enough for me to not like that game mode. I think it's fun to play. I never say that I don't like to play it. I think it's fun, but I don't think it's it's really a good game mode.
All right. So moving on in interview. Last question here. Then we move to our community questions. You said you wanted to coach 2K players in an interview. The interview with Masmura. How is that project going? Have you managed to talk with these guys? How is that going on?
I actually coached a couple 2K3s on stream, but I actually stopped coaching on stream altogether because of other difficulties. Like, I would stream, I would do the coaching streaming, but then people would come, they don't have good equipment, it's lagging. And so the coaching on stream actually just stopped working out for me. It was not good system for me, and I actually stopped altogether. But I always say my door is open. If you are 2K4, 2K5, whatever ELO really, if you have a chance to play the S tier tournaments and you're in the S tier tournaments, or at least about to qualify, you can message me on Discord. You can contact me. I will help you. You give me the settings. I will give you exactly whatever you need, tools. I won't play with you practice because that's a lot of time. I might, but I'm not promising that. But for sure, I will give you tips on what to do, how to map draft, how to pick civs, what's the best civ on the map. You tell me your style, I give you tips, and I can help them out. I've helped a lot of people like that who message me about it. off stream, off everything. I don't talk about it, but I think it's something that's I think that's really good for the people who message me about it. That's it helps them a lot, I think.
Awesome. So if you are a 2K player and you are watching this interview, don't forget to send a message to HERA. I'll put his Discord here his Discord server here at the description of this video. But now, moving on to our final stages of this interview, the community questions. But first, before that, HERA, I must say this. They say online, if you truly are famous, you will eventually receive this invitation. And if nobody said it to you, I am glad to be the first one. HERA, please come to Brazil. but truly, if you wish to come here, we would receive you in Sao Paulo or Curitiba or anywhere. You would be well received. So if you want to come here, here's an invitation. Please come to Brazil, HERA.
I appreciate that. I actually have a lot of people that tell me come to Brazil, come to Chile. Some people even say come, different areas. I actually really appreciate that from everyone because that's a very welcoming thing to say. Like, come and we'll provide hospitality, that kind of stuff. I'm sure people even offer me to pay the plane ticket, that kind of stuff. I really appreciate it, but it's really complicated to travel. Like, for everyone who travels will know. Right? But it's not impossible that I go to Brazil sometimes, and if I ever have the chance to go there, I'll definitely meet or put some social media out there to meet with the fans. I meet with some of the players, maybe Degao, Fire, Miguel. I would love to meet them and hang out there. And
maybe Chico and Tomahawk.
Yeah, maybe you guys. Yeah, for real, like it's a very big possibility. So I don't know what the future holds. We'll see. But I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So now moving to the community questions. First question is from Negodrama. He asks, what's the role of Roxy in your career since you've moved to Argentina? It seems like she's been working with and for you at some point, helping you out with your AoE career. How important is her role in your, the legend of HERA? How much of a share does she have?
She's been helping me for a long time, like even online with like modding. Like she created my Discord a while back, for example. She helps me a lot with social media. She helps me with all kinds of things around the community, AoE. Sometimes just to have someone nice to talk to as well about that kind of stuff. So she plays a pretty big role. I think she even plays a big role in anything hosted in Argentina, like the watch party, for example. She did all of that. And she's very passionate about Argentina, South America in general. She also, like you guys, really heavily believes that South America deserves to get something big, that would be something nice there. So, yeah, she plays a big role in pretty much all of that. And, I actually started winning S-tier tournaments consistently after I got married and moved to Argentina. So maybe she plays a really big role in all things considered as well. So, yeah, she's been a really, really great part for just me in general, to be honest.
Awesome. So Roxy, this part of the interview is for you. So another question from Farpinho, our friend Chico. It's true or not, NBL is the player that most tilts you?
Maybe in the past, yes, but not nowadays. Nowadays, probably Mr. Yo with the monk conversions.
Really? All right.
Yeah. All right. He always instant conversion.
All right. Another question for PKM trainer. Did you learn already how to tango, or have you been drinking mate there in Argentina?
I don't dance at all, so no tango. But mate, I tried it a couple times, and I actually like it. It's pretty good.
The cold one or the hot one?
The hot one, yeah, hot one. Yeah, I'm not a big mate drinker, but it's pretty good. Yeah.
I think it's something that you must get used to that. Like,
yeah.
First try, like, it tastes some like, okay, why do you like that? But afterwards, it gets better.
Eh? I don't know. I kind of liked it at first. Like it was pretty good. So maybe I should drink it more. I'll end up falling in love with it. Maybe.
My family drinks it a lot here in South Brazil. We drink it a lot.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it's a regional culture. Chico has a question for you about humans, right?
Yeah, I actually I have two questions, but it's really quickly. It's a personal question. Like, let me take here. Um, like professional players is really hard to get at that point. But in EOE is a really like old game, so like average of the players are really high already because it's like they play a lot and from a long time. So, what's the secret of the pro players that this this group of like really good players can't reach? Like, what's your secret, guys? Like, I know a lot of like really good players. Like a personal friend of mine, Paganini. I don't know if you know
Yeah,
him.
I know
Like
him. Yeah.
he's really good, but he can't reach 2.5k, 2.6k as you can. Like, why they can't? What's the secret here? Like,
Okay.
what's the tricky?
You know Paganini. How many hours a day does he play?
Maybe
Uh,
2-3 hours.
3 hours a day,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, I don't
If he
know.
makes that 8 hours a day, he'll have a chance. If not, he will not have a chance because
I
I
see.
already know way more than like the average player, even the average 2K, 2K3, because I play so much. And that's just me as an example. All the top players know so much more. And we don't have to play as much at now because we already went through that phase. But to get into that phase, I mentioned earlier, I played 8 hours a day. I streamed it, yes, but I played 8 hours a day to up my level from losing round one in round of 16, round 32, to getting second place and losing to only Viper. So I think playing a lot more. If he doesn't watch, for example, all the guides I put on YouTube, he has to watch all the guides on YouTube. Simple as that. Like I just put like the best information
But
out there.
li- like I know Ozone, like the
Yeah.
Colombian guy. He plays a lot, and he plays a lot of hours. He puts a lot of effort. Why he can't reach like the level of you guys? What the lack of him that you got?
Well, I think he's on the right track. Actually, I think he's actually getting closer. Like he's getting
Yeah,
higher.
He's closing the gap.
So give him some time. I think he can do it. He plays a lot. Maybe he's not thinking as much of the game. He should think about the game a lot as well, and like watch guides, ask questions, talk to pro players, and we will answer and we'll help them out. But playing a lot is an absolute must, and you don't play with your brain off. You play, but you think actively about the game. You play 3 hours in the morning, 4 hours in the morning. You think about the games, then you play another 3-4 hours at night or in the afternoon or something else, wherever you can, as soon as you have free time, and only play competitive. Don't play with your friends. Don't play. If you're serious and you want to make it to the top, stop playing for fun. Like play to actually. You will find fun in getting to the next level, in breaking your goals. Put a goal for yourself. I'm 2K3. I want to hit 2K4. When you hit that goal, you will feel good. It will be fun. So that's where the fun is. If you play casual 3 hours, it does nothing. It's a waste of time. So it sounds like a very harsh way, a very serious way to take it, but that is honestly the only advice that will work. You will never ever compete with Viper, myself, Leary, or not Leary, not a good example, but Mr. Yo, full time. We play so much every day. We already have a lot of knowledge. We have players that we can practice at the top. You will not compete with us if you don't put in extra. You have to do something extra to separate yourself. So that's what I would say.
I see.
And last thing I'll say, not everyone can afford to do that because they have to work. They have that. That's unfortunately the part of life, and I actually feel pretty bad for people who want to get that and can't. But that's just unfortunately how life goes. I was lucky I did it when I was young.
It is what it is, and
Yeah.
shouts out to Paganini, which is actually is a guy who inspires me a lot, and Chico as well. He plays a lot, and he has 3 children and
Wow.
life to take care of, and still plays a lot. Yeah,
He's a
Yes.
really nice guy, really humble guy, and like he is one of like the players like here in Brazil that puts a lot of effort for the game and for the
I like that.
community.
Yeah.
He's amazing guy.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cheers, Paganini.
I like that. And yeah, if you have 3 kids, it's gonna be very hard to find those 8 hours. Like I'm not stupid. I understand how the world works.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, if you have that much responsibility, chances are you can't afford to get to the top. but it's still good that he puts in the effort. He helps out wherever he can in the community building in Brazil, and he's an inspiration to many. So a lot of respect to him for that as well.
Maybe Doubt can be an inspiration for him, because Doubt has like 2 kids, right? Or am I wrong?
Doubt has 2 kids, but Doubt got to high level a long time
Before
ago,
having 2 kids.
When you get to high level, it's really easy to keep it, but it's just hard to get there.
True.
Right. So last community questions from BLC Souza. What was the hardest thing to learn in AoE for you?
Ooh, hardest thing in AoE to learn. Probably how to do a proper unit transition. How to transition a unit where you don't die when you're transitioning, or when you transition to the right unit at the right time. I recently made a video about this, telling people like how to do it and explaining how I learned about it. But when I was learning, there was no video, there was no help. I had to figure that out.
RGs, right?
Good thing we have you.
Honestly, I'm not very. People think I'm arrogant when I play. I don't think I'm arrogant at all. If there's one thing I'm very proud of, actually, it's the guides I put out. I think I put out the absolute best guides, and I think I put out the best builds. And I think when people realize that I'm literally giving all the information to be a top pro out there, if anybody's serious, you have to watch the shit I'm putting out, because I'm literally not holding anything secret. You know what I mean? So I'm not proud of a lot of things. Gameplay I can always improve. This kind of stuff I can always improve. But the guides I put out, I think, are really top quality.
Thank you.
And it
Thank
is
you for
rare,
that.
because like when I quit from AoE, like back in the zone, when the pandemic starts of Corona, like my friend sent me a video of you, like, see this guy, like he made a build order of scouts. I don't remember exactly what. So I'm back to the definitive edition of Age of Empires because of you and because of your guides and modes. That's true. That's true.
That's
and
great.
I'm just one example of like thousands. That's really nice. You are big part of the community, not just because you are a pro player, but you help like a lot of players like to back in the game or to improve in the game. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you saying that, actually. Thank you a lot. And last thing I'll say about that is I wanted to be a teacher. Like, that was one thing I wanted to be, but I don't like the kids in school these days. I think they're very disrespectful to the teachers.
It's true.
They don't really respect the teachers from what I see. Yeah, so that's why I actually prefer teaching AoE, actually. So for me, teaching AoE, making these guides, that's something I really, really enjoy. Like, I don't actually profit that much from doing it, but I do it nonetheless because I love to do that.
Well, it's good to have you, HERA. Thank you for providing us so much content. And now, truly moving to the final stages, the final line of the interview, and then moving to our conclusions. I have a little game here. It's a little game. I call it ping pong. You need to answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. No elaboration on it. You don't need to elaborate on it, all right? I think it's 10 questions. It's really quick, so let's go for it. What is your best civilization for Arabia?
Mongols.
What is your best civilization for Arena?
Burgundians.
What's the best civ for naval maps?
Vikings.
Best opening strategy for Arabia?
Scouts.
Best opening strategy for Arena?
Scouts.
Worst map in AoE?
No much.
Black Forest, I guess. Or
Black Forest, all right.
I guess.
Worst civ in AoE?
Bohemians. Somehow.
All right. What's your favorite civ?
Franks.
What's your favorite unit?
Mangadai.
Last one, best food, Canada or Argentina?
Argentina.
All right, HERA, we're ending our interview here. I hope you enjoyed it. I truly hope you enjoyed it. First of all, I'd like to thank you so much for being here and giving us this opportunity. I am very happy. And Chico, I think you are as well, right?
I am too. Very happy.
You are. I'm truly a huge fan of yours, and Chico as well. We always talk about you. We have groups here, and we're always talking and discussing about you and your performances. And Viper, Lyris, we are huge fans. So thank you so much for being here. And now, please give us a message for all your Brazilian fans, conclusion for this interview, and a little tip for improving in AoE for all the starters here.
Wait, what do I have to do?
Just send a message to all your Brazilian fans and and give us a tip for how to improve in AoE.
Okay.
One
First
tip,
of all,
if you.
yeah, much love to all the Brazilian fans out there, of course, and I really appreciate you guys setting up this interview. It's been really cool from you guys. One tip for AoE is watch pros and try to imitate what they do. That's like the best thing you can do. At any elo, if you just watch someone better than you, watch a pro, you learn from them, and you just try to copy them. That's the best way to improve. So that's a tip for the Brazilian fans. And thank you so much for having me once again. It was an absolute pleasure to be here.
All right. Thank you so much, HERA. So this is the end of our interview. So if you are here watching yet, after an hour and 20 of interview, don't forget to like and subscribe this channel and subscribe to HERA as well. Goodbye. I'll see you next. HERA, please say goodbye, and Chico as well.
Goodbye, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.